Hello, knowledge seekers. Welcome to another video session of Fuzzy Scientist. So, as we left it like with the discussion of pyruvate dehydrogenase reactions in the previous video, so this video will be continuation of the next phases of pyruvate dehydrogenase. Basically, it involves the regulation of it in a cell or in our body, and the biochemical significance of various steps involved in its inhibition. So, let us start with the basic regulatory steps involved in pyruvate dehydrogenase complex reaction. So, so let's start like pyruvate dehydrogenase complex is a very good example for enzyme which is inhibited by the end products itself. So I mean the end products which are formed in this reaction basically inhibit the activity of this reaction. So this is basically also called as feedback regulation. So as the end product is the concentration increases in the matrix of mitochondria, so they get back and reversibly inhibit the enzyme activity, further preventing more conversion or more production of the end products. So in this case the end products are as you know acetyl CoA and NADH. So now so to understand it more better, like let us dive a bit deep. So basically a PDH exists in both active form and inactive form. So its active form is a dephosphoenzyme. So that means so the active form of PDH is devoid of phosphate molecule, whereas the inactive form of PDH is a phosphate enzyme. That means if you attach a phosphate group to the PDH complex, it becomes inactivated. So what enzymes does regulate this activation and inactivation? Like how does PDH convert to its active form from its inactive form? What are the enzymes involved in this activation and inactivation process? So coming to the activation of PDH enzyme, um, PDH phosphatase is a major enzyme which activates or which regulates the switching on of PDH complex. So this PDH phosphatase is promoted by um, the presence of insulin, especially in adipose tissues. So magnesium ions and calcium ions. So so we should have got doubt that okay, how does the insulin levels in adipose tissue regulate the activation of PDH? So now let us look. So to understand this very clearly, so the basic fundamental we all know that is, so what is the role of insulin? So insulin's role is basically um, it increases the uptake of glucose by all the cells and tissues. So its major role is that like it have to remove glucose from serum, and it has to make sure that like glucose is being uptaken by all the cells and tissues in our body. So in that process what it does is, so insulin basically in regular in normal cells what it does is, so it increases the rate at which glycolysis occurs. So that means already the glycolysis would be occurring in our body, and it increases the pace at which glycolysis occur in all our body cells. So this results in a need for more glucose to be uptaken. Thus, glucose from all the serum is uptaken by cells and the tissues present in our body. It also simultaneously does the what do you call it also the inhibition of glycogenolysis and increases the synthesis of glycogen. So glycogenolysis is nothing but like breakdown of glycogen molecules to glucose. It actually does reduce that, and it also increases the rate at which glycogen formation from glucose occurs. And the third step and the prime important for us is like in adipose tissues. That means in fat storing tissues. What does insulin levels does? So in fat storing tissues, what does insulin basically does is like the presence of insulin fat storing cells increases the uptake of glucose, but the point here is the glucose being uptaken by the adipose cells here results in the formation of fatty acids. That means the fat cells uptake or simply put the adipose cells take over glucose from serum, and they convert this glucose into fatty acids, various fatty acids, and store as fat in our body. And for this particular conversion of glucose to fatty acids, so we need PDH. Why do we need PDH? So PDH, so the end product of glucose, so glycolysis is pyruvate formation. This pyruvate is converted to acetyl CoA with the enzyme PDH. And acetyl CoA is a very important biomolecule or biometabolite in the formation of fatty acids. So as we need acetyl CoA for the formation of fatty acids, so we also need a PDH enzyme for its conversion from pyruvate. So that is how insulin plays an important role in adipose cells. So in activation of PDH. So that is one step. Okay. So now the same. So that is how the dephospho enzyme of PDH regulates all these steps. Now the PDH inactive form is phosphoenzyme. The phospho state of it is a PDH inactive form. So who does look, or which enzyme does does regulate this inactivation of PDH complex? So the enzyme PDH kinase basically inactivates the PDH. So how does this? I mean, like what are the factors, or what are the cofactors or molecules that promotes the activity of PDH kinase? So one is ATP, another is NADH. ATP and NADH promote the activity of PDH kinase, so which is inactivation of entire PDH complex. So and at the same time, simultaneously, ADP and NAD levels, if are more, that results in the inhibition of this PDH kinase enzyme in basically in our cells. Okay, now going through, so one important point that we should also we should have covered in the first step is like in the activation process of PDH complexes. So usually calcium ions are generated when our muscles get contracted. So these calcium ions directly are responsible for the activation of PDH, so that energy is generated for our muscle contraction or for our muscular movements. So that is very interesting step which occurs in ourselves. So now moving to what are the other biochemical significant steps that are very much involved in the inhibition or regulation of PDHR. Like one is TPP, that is thymine pyrophosphate. The deficiency of thymine pyrophosphate may be due to the decreased levels of vitamin B1, which is thymine. So result in accumulation of pyruvate. That means as the PDH is inhibited here, more amounts of pyruvate get accumulated in our body. And second, so in alcoholics who have this thymine deficiency, in them the pyruvate is rapidly converted to lactate, resulting in lactic acidosis. Also, in people with inherited PDH deficiency, so we observe lactic acidosis with glucose load, with immediately as glucose load happens in them, immediately their biochemistry shows that they're prone to lactic acidosis, or we observe lactic acidosis in them at a rapid level. So, and last important thing is like PDH activity can also be inhibited by the arsenic and mercuric ions, as these ions go and bind to the thiol groups, that means sulfur SH groups of lipoic acid. So this is how the other significant biochemical inhibitory steps or regulatory steps of PDH. So okay, what is the biological importance of pyruvate? If you look at the biological importance of pyruvate, so pyruvate is a very key metabolite for various production pathways or for various regulatory pathways in our body. Simply put, like giving examples, like in the fatty acid synthesis or in gluconeogenesis or in tricarboxylic acid cycle, pyruvate plays a major role. Also, so it has a great significance in gluconeogenesis. That means like production of glucose from other molecules like fats or proteins. So we observe formation of pyruvate in as an intermediary compound in these pathways. So that is it for today. Uh, Thank you for watching my videos. Please do subscribe to my channel and just comment like whatever topic you want or your interested topic, so that I'll make a video on that. So thanks for watching.